Hey everyone, it's Adam here. In this video we're going to be installing the AltRider headlight guard. Now this is the Lexan headlight guard, not the mesh. I have the mesh on my bike, but this is going to be for Heather a touring bike, not an off-road bike. And so she's going to be spending all of her time on the highway, and what I will caution you all toward is that if you get the mesh, any mesh headlight cover from any company, not just AltRider, the mesh guards look badass, like very Mad Max-esque, but the problem is they throw a shadow on the highway, a pretty, kind of etch-a-sketch shadow. And so if you want to not have that, then either get super powerful LEDs as we have here, because they're going to basically be brighter than your headlight, or get a Lexan cover. And Lexan is just, you can just say plastic, but it's a automotive safe hardcore plastic. So we got our carrying brackets right here. These are going to go on the sides. Got a whole bunch of bolts and little soft rubber washers, grommets, and we got our instructions. And of course, they ship you the cover like this. Don't peel this paper off of your cover until the very end, but here's how it's going to look on the bike. Just like that. But that comes off the very end because you don't want to scratch it up. Let's look at our instructions from AltRider. So here's kind of your basic diagram showing how it should look when it's all done. Right there. And you'll see actually that if you wanted to become a serious hardcore off-roader later on, you could always, thanks to the grommet system, you can purchase from them just the stainless steel mesh cover and swap it over to the mesh at any point and use the same mounting brackets. So quarter-inch driver, T25, T30, M3, 10mm wrench, and an M2 hex key. Oh, as far as cleaning instructions, let's look at that real quick. I'm going to pause. Mild soap and water. Do not use other chemicals like ammonia. Alright, so there's a few things here. We're going to go through this real quick. Remove all OEM fasteners. Install the 4 custom ball studs into the right and left side of the brackets. I'll do that off camera. Insert this behind the turn signal. Oh, and then you just mount this on top. That's super simple. Super simple. There's your instructions. You can pause if you want. All these instructions are on our AltRider site though, so don't worry about needing that. So before we get started, I'm going to go off camera and actually go and install my ball studs on the end of these brackets. I'll be right with you guys. Now I always mention to you guys there are potential compatibility issues. But first let me show you how these brackets look. So here's the bracket right here. As you can see, these little studs grip into there. You get the little tiny flatheads on the inside. These are M2.5 and this is a 10mm right here. Loctite, hand tighten, and you're good. It's going to go right in here, but as you can see, this winglet is in the way. And this is the Madstad windscreen with the added winglets for wind coverage. I'm going to try to still install this. We're going to see how it goes, but I might have to remove these in order to get it working. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and remove this off camera, and then I'll get back to you guys and show you how to install this, and then we'll discuss compatibility of modifications. One thing that's unique about this that's really going to, if you're not a mechanic or used to this kind of stuff, it's going to throw you for a loop. This is a T40, I think, on the front. T30. It's T30 on the front of this bolt that's behind here. Note the this little clip right here. So the way you install this is you actually turn the light up, get it in there, and then you turn it faceward like that. But anyway, that's neither here or there. The bolt that's behind here, the T30, behind it is a little 10mm washer. BMW didn't put any sort of a clip or an anchor like this. They didn't put anything like this behind there. They just gave you, in my case, a 10mm washer. You might have a different experience, but so just you might need to get a wrench back there in order to get it, and then it's going to be a fun time to get it all back together when you're done. I actually might use that clip, but both sides of mine have this weird 10mm washer behind there that's just, you can't get your fingers in there. So when you go to reinstall this, it's just going to be a pain in the ass. So when you're ready to pop this out, you can fist this up here, and then this comes right out. Now I've got, mine looks a little different than yours because I have this windshield bracket, but basically assembled. We have our little locking nut there and this spacer. So that's like that. And then you've got the other thing here that goes in the bottom. My situation is slightly different from yours because I have an extra piece, but I don't believe there'll be a compatibility issue. I'm going to drop this spacer right behind there. It was made significantly harder for two reasons. The one is that locking 10mm nut on the back. It just took about 10 minutes of me just sort of dropping the nut repeatedly and just trying to get it in there. Finally got it to thread. We're good now. We're all torqued down. The bottom one was made harder because of me, because I have this little winglet installed here. But it is good now. So the spacer's behind there. Everything's fine. No compatibility issues. The spacer's needed to keep this away from the body of the light. And once both sides are installed, it'll be pretty structurally sound because you've got both opposing forces there. But here's how it looks from the front. There you go. I'm going to go to the other side, and I will not detail the other side. It takes so long, and then I'll just show you guys how we did the final picture. So I'm going to show you what we had to deal with here. Nothing crazy. Again, this is not AltRider's fault. This is my fault for having a custom setup. But you'll see here that the way this is designed, this winglet was originally going to be, it follows the line of the actual body of the headlight. But if you look here, because this comes out a little bit, this just basically rubs up against it. So I couldn't get these two bolts tightened all the way down on either side. But again, that's because I had the Madstad windshield installed. Not AltRider's fault. Without this, it would have been perfect. So now we have this done. So let's go ahead and get this camera back on the tripod, and I'll go ahead and install the grommets and the Lexan, and we are done with the install. Now this kit comes with 4 rubber grommets. These hold the polycarbonate to this piece here. Clean that off before you do anything else. Just peel this stuff off. Not going to be needing that anymore. Now these grommets, they just pop right in. They're really easy to install. Just push them through. Don't use any kind of sharp, you can use a pick but not a sharp one because you run the risk of putting a hole in the rubber itself. Alright, perfect. Now there's that. So you'll see how they pop right in. You want to hold them, push in this direction because you don't want the grommets popping out. It has happened to me one time out after thousands of times switching this over. You know, AltRider left a little bit of stuff on here. Kind of annoying, but that'll go away with time. So there you go. There's the cover. You can barely even see it, right? A little sideways there. And it's barely noticeable on this thing. And actually, it looks kind of cool with the Madstad windshield because it looks like you've just got like, because these are all polycarbonate materials. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Wow, that is gorgeous. And like I said earlier, AltRider will sell you the mesh piece with 4 more grommets, and then you can yank it out and swap it if you want to. Or if over time this gets just dinged up from highway gravel and bugs and stuff, and you get tired of cleaning it, I think for $40 you can replace this as well. Which they probably have pretty high margins there, but whatever. Yeah, isn't that great? It looks so good. And with a material like this, you're not going to have any issues with yellowing, with reduced clarity, reduced lumen transfer. Anytime you add a layer, you're going to have a little bit of degradation, but it's not enough to really make a difference, especially with these high-powered LED headlights. They pierce right through it. On the R1200GS, it's an $1,800 part for the LED headlight, and so for this one, it's probably about the same amount of money, which is kind of crazy, right? So like, just so much money. But anyway, yeah, this is solid. I'm actually really happy I was able to keep the winglets on. They're a little deflected outwards from what they were because of this guy here, but man, this thing is strong. It's not going anywhere. Hopefully Heather likes it. She's out doing yard work right now, but I love it. I think it looks fantastic. I like that they bent the Lexan. It bends with the actual headlight, which is really cool. So, you know, the install for this or the stainless steel mesh or aluminum mesh are the same exact installation instructions, minus the last part. Isn't that great? Well, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks AltRider for making great stuff. And ride safe. Rock on.